Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Senior Cat Wellness Question Time. Have you ever found your favorite feline just hiding under your bed for hours and just bolting at the sound of that door creaking? Or just staring at you with those wide and suspicious and mysterious eyes just looking right through you? If so, there's a very good chance that your cat is feeling quite anxious in that moment. And yeah, I hate to say it, but you, unfortunately, could be the reason why, unknowingly, of course, but you could be the reason why. But don't worry, you're certainly not alone. It's not about pointing fingers, obviously. Most of us, even with the best of intentions, we often make those small mistakes that can really stress our pets out, stress our cats out specifically, of course, without realizing it at all. So today in this video, we're going to take a dive into some of the most common owner habits that potentially could be making your cat very anxious and stressed. And of course, we'll talk about what you can do to fix it all, because a very relaxed cat is a happy cat. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how to turn that stressed cat into a happy camper. We'll start off with the inconsistency of that daily routine. If you have been around these parts for even a short amount of time, what am I about to say? Cats are creatures of habit, and they love that consistent daily routine. And what happens when things change, especially if every day is a different change, right? Change in the feeding time, change in the playtime, even your work schedule, those cuddle sessions, they're about 90 minutes later than usual, right? It's very jarring for a feline. Think of it this way. You know how you feel when your favorite TV show or something that say you look forward to every day at the same time. I don't know, maybe you're a exercise fitness fanatic, and when that gym, you go to the gym and that one exercise machine, somebody takes it, right? It could throw off your whole day, because if you're a creature of habit, it doesn't really matter what has changed. It's just something has changed, and that something could be very important to you. So think of it through that lens when you're thinking about your cat with respect to this topic. Your alarm, for example. You set your alarm to start your day, your work day. What if it doesn't go off? Everything is off because everything has been pushed back. You sort of feel rushed through the whole day because you open those eyes, and the first thing you realized, the routine. Something's wrong with it, right? Well, the fix, just like the cat, just like you, trying to keep that routine as steady and as basic and as simple and consistent as possible. Same for mealtime, same for playtime. Even that litter box. Your cat, make no mistake, they know when you clean it, and they'll certainly realize when you haven't. So it's all about routine and making it a consistent and positive routine, a daily routine for your cat. Let's talk about number 2 on our list here. Too much noise and chaos. Now, more than usual. I am personally convinced, and others could feel free to disagree, that cats will pretty much tolerate most anything within positive reason, of course, if they know that you're the one behind it, and if it's something they've always known about. I use this example a lot when discussing a topic similar to this. If cats were truly afraid of just noise in general, they would freak out every time you went to get some ice and the ice machine kicks in, right? That sound, it's a jarring sound. But your cat probably doesn't, right? Well, the main reason for this is long ago they heard that ice machine. Then they heard it again a couple hours later. They've heard it every day for a few hours for the last, 5, 10, 15 years, right? It's not what the sound is or how it sounds. They know that it's a part of their regular routine, and more importantly, above all, they know that you are the one doing it. Make sense? Got it. Okay. Now let's talk about that chaos, which is different than the ice machine. Cats are hunters and prey in the wild, so that loud bangs and shouting and like I said, the ice machine or a vacuum cleaner, it could, if it's unexpected being the key words here, it trigger a fight or flight response. So anything that's, let's just say, out of bounds, out of the norm, not just sounds in general, but sounds they're not accustomed to. Another example I like to use on the channel here, fireworks. Like, how many times do fireworks go off, right? Let's say you live in the United States, 2 or 3 times a year. They're not consistent enough to become consistent. So, 4th of July rolls around, New Year's Eve. Well, that's, pretty big gap of months in between all that. So the cat is not expecting that. So too much stress from noise and chaos can cause your cat to be stressed and very anxious. The solution, create a place they can go to when things get a bit rough and rowdy, like a quiet room, a cozy area. I always talk about having a home within your home for your cat. That will pay off big time in situations like this where things get too loud, but also loud from an unexpected position. Mistake number three. Let's talk about forcing interaction. I've talked about this a lot too. About you see a cat, and this happens with youngsters, and it's not their fault. It's just because they're youngsters. They see a cat or see a dog for that matter. Let's go pick it up. Right? There's an animal. They sort of grab it up like an object. No fault of their own, right? But makes a cat stressed. Makes a cat very stressed. Dogs are more, I don't know, more flexible in that regard to letting that happen. Cats, not so much, especially if the cat doesn't really have a good relationship with that person. Most cats are not into big surprise hugs or being picked up, especially constantly, especially if the cat doesn't have the personality to, uh, let's just say, be involved in that fashion. Yet many owners, they will force the interaction, right, thinking it's part of affection. Well, it's a one-way street when you're forcing the issue, right? You want the cat as part. It's almost like part of your affection, not theirs. So your cat will feel very differently if you're forcing a petting session. It might be relaxing to you, but your cat could feel a little bit out of control, not being able to get down and get away from you. If your cat always has a tendency to pull away or hide when you approach, chances are they're going by association, a negative association of constantly being picked up when they didn't want to be. So, solution here is, of course, let them come to you. Let them initiate the contact, initiate the affection. Sit near them, associate, talk, however you talk to your cat. A lot of us use the little baby talk, to our pets, but be close, but be hands off. And they'll come around. When they're ready, they'll come around, and you'll know. You'll pick up on the signs to know when they're ready for that affection and to be picked up because, like I said, they'll give you the signs to know. And it's all about trust. The cat will naturally come over to you and be more affectionate to you if they know they can trust you with their care, and that includes being picked up. Wanted and unwanted physical contact. Once they can trust you, you've got everything you could want, right? All right, number four. Let's talk about lack of not physical, but mental stimulation. I think a lot of people think cats need to play and they need to run around, and that's true within a positive setting, but mental. It's not just rolling all the toys out, sort of like a football game. You don't just roll all the balls out on the field and go play, right? You have to have a plan, and some of that plan is not only the physical, but the mental. How do we resolve this? Mental playtime. Anything that gets a cat not only moving, but thinking, right? The laser pointer, there's a mixed crowd as to if that's just something silly or something productive, but just the act that they have to follow the pointer around, follow the little red dot, that's not only a physical, but it's a mental, right? They have to keep up with it to track it. Something like that. Puzzle feeders, something like that, right? 15 minutes, just maybe even 3 times a week. It doesn't have to be a daily thing. Something that gets them thinking. This is not only important for cats of all ages, but especially young cats and senior cats, right? Keep that mental as sharp as possible. Mistake number five, or I should call stress-inducing issue number five, territory, right? You're too close. I mentioned a home within the home. Well, what if they don't have that? And everything's just sort of a jumbled mess, and their territory is being intruded upon, right? Moving their stuff, moving their litter box, the food bowl. They don't even know where their stuff is from day to day because it's sort of been thrown in with your stuff to some degree. Litter box, for example, in a high traffic area. Introducing a new pet. This goes back to somewhat of the routine, but territory invasion. It's important to keep your cat's essentials in their area, familiar places that they know just where everything is. And if you're planning on making a change, do it gradually. Like move stuff, maybe move one item a day to this new area. Don't have your cat sort of wake up from a nap on the sofa and they walk over to their little play place, and their play place is now like I don't know, like a broom closet or something. You've turned it into something else while they were napping. So if you have to move things, do it gradually and let them see you do it. Let them watch you do it. Talk to them while you're doing it, if that helps. They don't need to be blindsided by changes in that regard, especially when it comes to their things and their territory. Next up, behavior, negative behavior, punishment, harsh punishment. Always talk about bringing out the positives even in the worst of situations. So your cat should never think they're going to be punished or fear punishment. If your cat claws up your sofa and hisses and all that, don't respond with the same amount of negativity. If they start sort of quote unquote yelling at you, don't yell back at them. It's the worst thing you can do because cats build their relationships. One of the ways they do so is by association. So you don't want them, especially in the early days of ownership, you don't want them to look at you in a negative light and start to fear you that every time you approach, you're going to, yell at them or whatever it is. That's the last thing you want. So no matter what happens, and it can be trying, patience is key. Make no mistake. And I think we've all been at the short fuse when it comes to animals at sometimes because it's just really annoying and frustrating, and that's part of it. But the trick here is to stay calm even if you don't want to. Do all you can to stay calm. Give your pet some space and don't bring out the negative in yourself just because they have acted in a negative way, a way contrary to the living space, how you want them to respond in your environment. No matter what is the issue that's caused them to act out, keep a positive mind, keep a positive attitude, and reward them for a job well done when they are behaved instead of severely punishing them for acting out in a way that you don't approve of. So, overall, are you making your cat anxious? Well, I don't know you, so I'm not sure. But if any of this sounds familiar on at least a surface level, if you've recognized a few of these things, don't get anxiety and stress out yourself, right? Owning a cat, it's a learning experience. We're all learning every day. Yeah, even some of us pros, we're still learning. I'm learning constantly, right? And you should be as well. But the good news, cats are forgiving, right? They don't hold these grudges like maybe some of your friends do. Like they're not going to stop texting you for a month if you think that if they think you've wronged them. So that's a thumbs up. That's a good thing. Watch how your cat responds to your normal actions and daily actions. You'll eventually know what brings them close and what drives them away. More importantly, you'll know what sort of triggers their stress, their anxiety, and within all means, right? Play on what's good, and as much as it's in your control, avoid what's bad. Just that small little thing. And of course, as your ownership journey grows and your cat gets older, you'll know what makes them happy and certainly what does not. So, to the wonderful audience of Senior Cat Wellness, what are your thoughts on this topic? Anything you'd like to add? Personal stories to share, as always, that comment section, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like. Share it out amongst these interwebs here that we all share, and subscribe to us right here at Senior Cat Wellness. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.